Hi guys. So yes, I think I was just talking to uh Ram. I was just messaging him, trying to message. Hi, Mr. Ram, have you joined? I was just talking to him. I think he's joining. No worries. So guys, again, good afternoon, and I welcome you all to this wonderful industrial training webinar on clinical data management, CDM, and clinical research audits. So we'll be talking about clinical data management, their opportunities, their scope in the market, what skills you need, and everything today. Okay, and as you know, we are conducting this Curio executive webinar series on the career development in pharma and healthcare industries. And there is no worries, we are with you. We have a lot of courses on different things. And today it's CDM. So we are launching the even CDM short course of 8 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks CDM course. We are launching very soon for you. By next week, it will be ready in the market. Okay, and it will be starting from the February first week, so you can join that. And as you know, this webinar series we are conducting since December first week, December 3rd. We have conducted almost, this is the eighth webinar we have conducted on pharmacovigilance and international regulations. I have conducted on hands-on training on the signal detection. We have conducted on medical and regulatory writing. We have conducted on scientific writing and research publications. We have conducted on clinical research and project management. We have conducted on hands-on training in SAS last week only, and then medical coding and international certifications last week only on Sunday. And today we are here with another webinar on clinical data management and audit. And the last webinar of the series will be on 19th January, Friday. Okay, the upcoming Friday, that will be on regulatory affairs and international regulations in the regulatory affairs. Okay, guys. So I welcome you all again, and you all are aware of our Curio website. We have Curio website. We are providing all kind of courses. So this is the website. There you can see we have updated many more courses. There, medical writing executive diploma and certificate courses there. Pharmacovigilance executive diploma and executive certificate courses there. There is a clinical research course, PG, CRM, CRPM, and you all can register in these things. We have SAS programming course. We have medical coding course, which is going to start very soon. So if you are interested in medical coding course, you can just register to the medical coding course. We have CRA training course, and we are coming up with a lot of courses. You can just check in the workshop also. Just go through it. Once you will get one of the cheapest courses, one of the wonderful courses, and the most quality courses here at this platform. Okay, so guys, with that, let me not waste much time. So today we have Miss Hanifa ji, Hanifa Ayub ji. We have Ram with us. We have Mr. Assis. So most of the things will be taken by Hanifa ji. She will be taking your class on CDM, and she will be talking about all the aspects. So let's listen from her only. So I will invite Hanifa ji to first introduce herself, and then go ahead with the class, and then we'll take up the lot of questions in the sessions. So we all are here, we'll be listening to her. So first, Hanifa ji, please tell about you, where you are working, what's your specialty. And as we all know, you are working on the CDM and you are working in the pharmacovigilance field. And definitely, I mean, but you tell a little more about you, and then please go ahead with the things. Thank you, Hanifa ji. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ajit. Hello, everyone, and very good afternoon to all of you here in the house today. So my name is Hanifa. I am a pharmacy professional with over 11 years of experience in pharmacovigilance. I started my career with Wipro, moved on to Cognizant, and from there on, I went to Connexa. Currently, I'm working as a training and development manager, drug safety with Connexa. So I will be briefly conducting a session on, by the way, I'm from Kashmir. That's a little introduction about me. Now, before I start talking, I will just share my screen with you. And before I even share my screen, I just wanted to set the rules for this session. Since this is going to be a remote session, guys, so we want everyone to pay full attention to detail. Since we cannot look at you, that does not mean our eyes are not on you. We will call out your names at any point of time. You should be able to respond to us. That gives us a sort of satisfaction that, yes, you're listening to us. And this is not a school class session that, we are teachers and you are the students. No, we are all professionals here. So in case you have any questions, you can stop us then and there, or you can park your questions towards the end of the session, because by the end of the session, we may have already answered your questions, because any which way there is going to be a question and answer session at the end of today's meeting. And with that, should I confirm, is everyone here? Are we all together? Anishka, Ashutosh, Bandan, Barnali, Bhanu Prakash, Abrar, Aftab Alam, Anchal. Can anyone say hi? Are you guys here? Can you speak? Nitin, Niveda,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, guys.
Pallavi,
Can you speak, or you can
Parth,
just raise your hand or
Meghna,
write
Yes,
yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes.
Matangi.
Yes, ma'am.
I am
Yes,
really
ma'am.
sorry if I'm not pronouncing your names the correct way. Pardon me for that. Lekhana, Malikarjun, Mansi,
Yes, ma'am.
are you guys here? Very good. You need to be quite attentive, because in today's session, you will get to know what Curio will equip you with through these sessions. And we will briefly get to know what is clinical data management. Let me share my screen with you. Please let me know once my screen is visible. Can anybody say yes, my screen is visible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
All right, great. Now, today's agenda would be introduction to clinical data management. We will get to know what is clinical data management process overview. We will understand why CDM and what is the objective, importance of CDM. Then most importantly, we will be talking about the career opportunities in CDM.
Hanifa ji,
And
please make it a presentation mode. It would be great.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
done?
thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And I think this is the most important part, that you will get to understand why and what value these courses in Curio will add to your knowledge and in general to your CV. Why are you here? Okay. So let's begin. To start with, if we have to understand what is clinical trial data, what is clinical data management, before that, we need to understand what is clinical trial data. Guys, I'm sure most of you would be coming from science background. That's why you are here, or healthcare backgrounds. I'm sure you are aware that there is something called as clinical trials. Are you aware of that? Have you heard this term? Don't
Yes,
tell me no. Mariam, Mansi, Malikarjun, Loretta, Lekhana,
Yes, ma'am.
Fauzia, Gargi, Hadia, Janvi,
Yes,
have you
ma'am.
heard of the term clinical trials?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So there is something called as clinical trials wherein the drugs are tested. Okay. And even before clinical trials, there is something called as preclinical trials. Say, for example, you're a company and today you develop a new molecule and you really want to see whether it's going to be efficient enough if we try this on humans. Before you test the medication on humans, you first have to test it on animals. Okay, that part of the phase is called as preclinical trials. We are not going into that. Then after that, the drugs are tested on humans, a limited population of humans, post which, when the drug is approved, then only the drug is put into the market. Okay, so during clinical trials, there is a lot of data that gets into the picture. Okay, now, clinical data management is the collection, integration, and the validation of clinical trial data. Say, for example, you are a sponsor. Today, you want to test a new drug. So, you decide the number of people that you have to take in your studies, and you will decide the type of patients that you must have enroll in your study. When you decide all of that, you get to understand the adverse events that are happening because of the drugs. Now, there is huge pool of data that comes into picture when we talk about these clinical trials, guys. Now, in clinical data management, we collect that data, we integrate that, and we validate that. So, the investigator's job would be to collect that data on the patient's health for a defined time period. Clinical trials do not happen forever. For example, you have to test a particular drug. You cannot keep testing it forever. You will define a time period in your investigator's brochure, and then you will say, okay, for example, for a year I have to test this drug, I will conduct this study, and then the data that you will get, you will send that data to the sponsor, who will then analyze that data using the statistical analysis. Okay, now, so what is clinical data management? It is nothing but something that is involved in all aspects of processing this clinical data. working with a wide range of computer applications. Obviously you need systems, okay? You don't only need case report forms where you are just manually entering the data, or through the computer you're entering the data. You need to have some databases also, database systems, and then you need to have support collection, and then there should be somebody to QC all the data, cleaning and management of subject or trial data. That is what happens in clinical data management. So if I'll have to say it in a nutshell, clinical data management is nothing but the management of the data that you get during the clinical trials. So what is this data about? Is this data going to be about what you eat? Or is this going to be about your clothes? Is this going to be about environment? No, this is the data about the patient's experience with the drug during the clinical trials. Are we all together until here? Are you following me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, guys, don't
Yes,
think that today's session is going to be talking about intricacies of this clinical data management. This is just the trailer. We just want to equip you with sufficient knowledge to understand what this field looks like, clinical data management, what all opportunities you will get if you take this career option, okay? So we are not going to go into the detail, but when we actually conduct your sessions, as Dr. Ajit correctly mentioned, that we conduct a lot of sessions that we have for you for each course. There we are going to talk about the intricacies of clinical data management, and we will be talking about every single word in detail there. Here it is just a nutshell, just to give you an idea about what this field is like and what are the career opportunities that you get here, okay?
Yes.
Now, this is how, thank you so much for responding. Clinical data process overview looks like. It's very simple, guys. First of all, obviously, when you have to conduct a clinical trial, you have to design a protocol. How and why and when are you going to carry your clinical trial? How will you do that? Obviously, when you do something in life, you need to have a plan. You need to have a proper plan in place. That is when you start working on that plan, right? Then comes the startup phase. Now you decide, okay, yes, I'm sure I have to conduct this clinical trial. I have this drug and I really want to see whether it's going to be efficacious enough in humans later or no. So now you will think about your startup phase. In startup phase, you will decide how should be your case report form. What should be the design of that form? It's nothing but adverse event monitoring form. Like, for example, when patients are reporting to you as a sponsor or as an investigator, hey, look, this is what is happening to me because of the drug that you're giving me. So you need to have a form in place where you're going to put that data. Then obviously there should be quality checks in place to understand whether that data is correct or no, or even if that form is good enough or no. Similarly, you don't need to only have that form. You need to have a database in place where you're going to process the data. Then you need to have edit checks and quality checks to ensure that the data that you are getting is correct enough. And then finally, you say, yes, everything is in place. Now I will get my database activated. Okay. For example, maybe some of you have already worked for PV. You must have heard about databases like Argus, Aware, and a lot of other databases like that. So they are called as databases. Then when you have all the data, you need to put this data, you need to enter this data into the database, right? That is called as data entry, where you get a lot of job opportunities here as data entry. This is not the data entry of who you have called or how you have spoken to whoever you have talked to. No, this is going to be the data of these subjects, the data of clinical trials, okay? Then during the conduct phase, you need to have in place discrepancy management. For example, if you find that some data is discrepant or there is some issue that has to be addressed. So you will raise queries to the investigator. You will say, hey, look, this is not working as we decided in the protocol. We need to have some management in place. For example, if I have to conduct this session today, everything has already been done by Dr. Ajit. I must be thankful to him that he arranged this session. He did all of this. He set this meeting. He gave us the link to join the meeting. He decided the timing. He ensured that all of you are here. So there always has to be some management, right? Similarly, if in clinical trials there are issues that may happen, you need to have discrepancy management in place. Then whatever terms, whatever conditions patients report in clinical trials, you need to do something called as medical coding. I'm very happy to share that Curio also provides you courses on medical coding. So this is also one thing that you have to do in clinical trials. This is one career opportunity too. coding of medical terms. And then finally, for example, I'm sure all of us use WhatsApp. You would have seen every now and then we keep getting updates. Do we get updates or no? That you need to update your WhatsApp. Recently, WhatsApp got a lot of new features. There is edit feature. There are a lot of smileys that keep getting added. Right or no? So things get updated. Right, Aarti? Arun?
Yes,
Prajwal?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Things get updated, right? If you do not update yourself, you cannot sit in the system, you cannot survive. Similarly, when we are talking about these clinical trial databases that we are working on, every now and then, whenever we feel that there is a requirement to update the databases, we must update the databases. Like you have seen, the phones get updated. For example, iPhone comes up with every single year, they come up with some new damn version, Pro, Max Pro, blah, blah, right? So similarly here also, to stay connected and to survive in this world, we must update in the pharmaceutical world, we must update our databases as well. This is what happens during the conduct phase. And then finally, during the closeout phase, now that we have databases in place, we have collected all the data. Now the databases are to be QC'd that yes, they're working properly, and the data that we have is reliable enough. And then finally, we lock the database. What does it mean to lock the database? This means whatever data you have already entered in the database now, today is your final day. This is the final time. After this, you will not get an opportunity to do any manipulations to the data, because this is the data that you are going to submit to the regulatory authorities. For example, during our exams, when we write our exams, we have a timing. For example, there are 2 hours that you get to write your exams. You cannot say examiner, hey, look, I just want to manipulate my answer. Aadha ghanta aur chahiye. I need half an hour more. Please give me some time. He will say, no, the time is locked, baby. Now you cannot do anything about it. Okay, we gave you enough time. Similarly, regulatory authorities will give you time. They will say, this is the database log day. Up to here, whatever data you have entered. For example, if it is to be logged today, till yesterday, you can do any edits, any manipulations, any corrections that you want to do. But post that, you do not get any chance. So this is going to be your full and final data. Are we together until here? Guys, are you following me?
Yes, ma'am.
Ram,
Yes, ma'am.
Singh, Shreya, Suraj, everybody is here. Give me a shout out. Are you here? Mariam, Fawzia, Gargi, Hadia,
Yes, ma'am.
Bushra? Very good. It's so nice to talk to the young minds. All right. Now let's see what next. Now, why do we need this clinical data management? Obviously, for review and approval of new drugs by regulatory agencies, it's dependent upon the trust that clinical trials data presented, that they are of sufficient integrity to ensure confidence in results and conclusions presented by the pharma company. What does this mean? Guys, see, for example, when we have to buy anything in our life, day-to-day life, we prefer to go for brands. Why do we go for brands? Because we understand that they are a brand, they adhere to the quality standards and the practices. Their practices are so good, we can close our eyes and blindly say, okay, this is my Nike shoe, okay, this is Gucci, this would be best because this is a brand. So obviously they have some set standards. Similarly, when you're a pharmaceutical company and you are doing your clinical trials, you must obtain that trust from the regulatory authority. So your data has to be reliable enough. It has to be of 100% quality. Your quality standards have to be of some standard, right? That is why companies must assure that all the staff, say for example, you decide and you choose a career in clinical data management. So the company must assure that they are equipping you with enough knowledge and enough skills that you need to process this data. Hence, companies, pharmaceutical companies, must assure that all the staff that is involved in the clinical research, they are trained and they are qualified to perform data management tasks. Guys, understand one thing, be it pharmacovigilance or be it any healthcare domain, you cannot play around with the data because it's about the life of the patients. Okay, our data has to be correct, it has to be reliable, there has to be hardly any manipulations in a negative way. Okay, now what are the objectives of clinical data management? The objectives are to ensure the integrity and the quality of the data, which we already discussed. We have to ensure that the data that we collect is complete and accurate so that the results are correct. For example, patient calls you and says, I experienced 10 adverse events. I experienced headache, fatigue, maybe other things, fever, cold, etc., etc. They give you 10 different things. You cannot say, hey, look, this is my drug. I do not want to share it with regulatory authorities that it is giving a lot of issues. Let me hide all the adverse events and I will just say that, yeah, my drug is good enough. It's not giving any adverse events. We cannot do that. The adverse events that are reported by the patients must be accurately taken down and reported to the regulatory authorities because it's about the life of the patients. If you have suffered something today and you do not report it, somebody else may die because of you not reporting the data or because of you falsely reporting and manipulating the data, which is why the data collected must be complete and accurate so that the results are correct. The database, the trial database must be complete and accurate and a true representation of what took place in the trial. If patient says, I got severe headache, I got third-degree burns, I got severe cardiac arrest, we cannot say, I'm not going to say severe. Let me change the word severe to mild. I will say patient got mild cardiac attack. We can't say that. It has to be a true representation of what took place in the trial, which is why if you choose careers in pharmacovigilance or this clinical data management, you will get to know one word that please capture the verbatim, capture the verbatim, capture the verbatim. That means please capture exactly what was told by the patient. Do not manipulate the words. Just copy paste what was told by the subjects, okay? And then trial databases are to be sufficiently clean so that the data that we get is good enough. We already discussed this. Now, guys, you must be wondering, okay, let's say, for example, we have learned and we have done courses in Curio. Now, what are the career opportunities in clinical data management? Guys, let's delve into the exciting possibilities within this domain. You can enter. Devansh has raised a hand. Yes, dear. Devansh, any issues? Okay, you can park your question towards the end of the session because there's no response. Guys, now is my voice clear? Are you able to listen to me very carefully?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, dear. Okay. Now, see, these are the exciting possibilities for you. One is clinical data coordinator. These are the entry-level roles, okay, for people responsible for data entry, coding, initial data quality checks. Then clinical data manager, then clinical data lead, clinical data analyst, clinical project manager, pharmacovigilance specialist. These are the career opportunities, guys. And obviously, as you go up the ladder, you can become the director, you can become the manager, you can become the senior manager, and so on and so forth, okay? So obviously these are the possibilities for you guys. For example, if you enter as an associate, does not mean you will remain an associate throughout your life. After a year only, you can become a lead. After a year, you can become a QR if you do best in your work. And then after 2-3 years, you can become a lead, you can become a manager later on, and you can become a general manager. Now, these designations that you see here, they vary within company to company. For example, some people say pharmacovigilance officer, some people say case processing associate, some people say pharmacovigilance scientists. You know, these will vary in different organizations. They choose their own designations, but yes, it's just to give you an idea that these are the designations that you can take when you join in any pharmacovigilance domain, in any of the companies, or even the clinical data management. Now, you must be wondering about why should we not go in manufacturing? Why this one? Why clinical data management? Why pharmacovigilance? Guys, it's up to you. Do you want to join somewhere where you will have to work like crazy for 12, 13 hours and get nutshells? Or you want to work in a company, in some reputed company, work for 9, 10 hours and draw a handsome salary? A career in CDM offers more than just a professional growth. How? Because it provides you the opportunity to directly contribute to the advancements in healthcare. You knowing your work has the potential to improve lives. I told you, you are directly or indirectly associated with improving patient lives. Okay. Additionally, people in CDM, they enjoy competitive salaries and benefits. You must have seen that people keep jumping from company to company. Whenever you go from one company to another company after spending maybe 2 years, 3 years in a company, then obviously you get minimum 30% hike or even more. Sometimes 70, 80% of hike is also given depending upon the demand. Then job security, it's comparatively better because the growing need for ensures strong job prospects. You have seen the COVID era. You have seen pharmacovigilance and CDM. These came up as booming industries. Yes, the job security is comparatively better. And then you get dynamic working environment because you get continuous learning and exposure to diverse clinical studies. And then intellectual challenge and stimulation, you get complex problem solving, keep that keeps your work engaging. So these are the rewards and fulfillments. Now, it's not just that you attend today's session and you will go and crack an interview and you think you are skilled and equipped. No, you need some technical skills. You need strong analytical and problem solving skills when you go and try to prepare in an interview and you want to choose a career in pharmacovigilance on CDM. You need to have excellent communication and interpersonal skills because you have to write case narratives. You have to write that in the form of a story, what happened to the patient. So obviously that story has to be in English, so you need to improve your communication as well. And then you need to learn to pay attention to the detail. Why? Because I told you, here you have to ensure that whatever you are putting in the database was exactly told by the patient the same way. So if you do not pay any attention to the detail, patient says, I got something severe, you miss the word severe, you only write the problem. No, then QC will catch you. They will say, hey, look, you have missed the severity of this event. Why didn't you enter that? You're not paying attention to the detail. So you need to be quite attentive, like you are attentive in my session right now. And then you need to have regulatory knowledge. That means understanding of various regulatory agencies throughout the world. For that also, we will be providing you the sessions. Now, what is the takeaway from today's session? Curio as a company, as an esteemed company, is the savior. Dr. Ajit, your Curio is the savior. Now, how? See, guys, if you're drawn to the intricacies of research and you possess a meticulous eye, you want to go for clinical data management, with the right kind of skills and dedication, you can definitely navigate this field. You can enter this field and become a very nice person. Your interpersonal growth will also happen. Then you become a really nice professional as well. So what will Curio do? Everything that you need to get into pharmacovigilance or clinical data management, everything that you need, whatever we discussed here, technical skills, strong analytical problem skills, regulatory knowledge, attention to detail, excellent communication skills, guys, everything will be provided in one platform, which is called as Curio. Curio will equip you with the necessary knowledge and skills. You may say, how skills? For example, through the sessions like today, you will get necessary knowledge that you need to crack any interviews in your job, be that in healthcare, life science, or any PV domain. Not only that, when I spoke about excellent communication skills, you will say, oh, we need to enroll in some other company, maybe we need to do some classes, they will improve our communication skills. No, Curio is giving you, I think they give you at free of cost. That is a bonus that is given when you choose any course with Curio. We do take care of your communication and interpersonal skills as well. So everything that you need is here in one plate at one. It's like one-stop shop for all your needs that you need to choose the right career for yourself in PV or pharmacovigilance. We have a variety of courses that Dr. Ajit showed you in the beginning that will provide you and equip you with all the knowledge and skills. So that's about it. That was just a trailer about clinical data management and what are the career opportunities that you may take later. Dr. Ajit, are you here? Guys, do you have any questions?
Yes, I'm here only,
Yes,
guys.
ma'am.
I'm here only.
Okay. So, Dr. Ajit, I'm done with this. I think.
Yes, I'm here, guys. Any questions? Please ask your questions. And we also have Mr. Ram with us, if he's here.
Hi, Izit. Hi, everyone.
Hi. So I would like to invite, Mr. Ram here to tell about him, what he's doing, how he's doing. He's a CDM trainer as well, and he's Hyderabad based, work a lot in the CDM, industry and as a trainer as well. So I would like to invite him to talk about him a little bit and what are the career options he thinks would be, and how students can skill up them for the CDM jobs. So, Mr. Ram, over to you for some time, and then we can take up the questions from the students.
Thank you, Ajay. Thank you so much for the great opportunity to talk with you and the students. Guys, am I audible to you all, students?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so much. Fine. So as I did mention myself from, basically I was from Bangalore, but recently I moved to Hyderabad for my new career opportunity. It's been almost more than 9.5 years that I'm in the industry. For the last 5 years, or the 4.5 years to 5 years, I'm giving the trainings for the clinical operations and the clinical data management. And so far, I've trained almost, I can say more than 2,500 to 3,000 students, and all over the India. And that's pretty much about me. And when we talk about the clinical data management, I can say a lot. But trust me that you have taken a very good decision to join this webinar. I can say why, because my entire education has been completed in medical colleges. I've studied in 3 medical colleges, which are the top medical colleges in India, actually. So, but even though you studied in top medical colleges, top pharma colleges, life science students, one of the thing that we don't understand here is that where do I land my career, or where do I choose my career? I had a lot of plans, but at the end of the day, it is something that everyone required, or everyone think of, corporate life, right? So because some of us don't want to end up as in a hospital life, or in a as a pharmacist, as a a microbiologist, as a doctor, or anyone. But the corporate life, or someone, or many of us want it. But for that, what should I do? Because it gives the, as our trainer mentioned, that it gives the job security, it gives the a lot of career opportunities. Fine, the industry is good, but which are the career? What is the career that I choose? If I choose this career, how about the future? Do you have that job security as we mentioned in the slides? If you ask me, I would say yes. Why? Because recently, for the Belinda Gates Foundation, which is run by the Bill Gates, he mentioned that now every sponsor company, nothing but pharma companies, every CRO companies are looking forward to work for the trials where we do not have a vaccines, where we do not have a medications, because we don't want one more tragedy like COVID, because the COVID costed us $14 trillion. So that's a great opportunity. So every sponsor company is looking forward to, trial on new, oncology products, new hematology products, new infectious diseases, everything, including the vaccines. Along with that, from the Bharat Biotech has mentioned that for the next 100 years, not the 10 years, okay, for the next 100 years, India is going to lead the clinical trials, clinical research industry. So that's your answer there. It's two, one person from India, one from the well-known persons have mentioned that you have a better career indirectly. So having said that, there are many companies who have moved from many abroad countries to India recently, including the after COVID, as giving a lot of career opportunities. That's fine. You have an opportunity. You have companies landed. You don't need to go to any countries. If you're in Mumbai, you have an opportunities. If you're in Hyderabad, you have an opportunities. If you are in Bangalore, you have plenty of opportunities. Kolkata, Pune, you have an opportunity. Gurgaon, Delhi, you have an opportunities. But which role I should choose? That is where many of us get a lot of confused, because if you don't choose a better role, you'll always end up in wrong direction, actually. So if you ask me, I would say 5 roles. I would say that is the clinical operations, CDM, pharmacovigilance, and so on, so regulatory affairs also. So if I just give a brief 1 or 2 lines about clinical data management, I would say it's a critical phase. Why? Because let's imagine that one of your student might study for 10 hours, 15 hours per day. Okay, I used to study. That's what I'm saying. Okay, and can you go to your principal and say that, sir, I study for daily for 10 hours. Can you give me a certificate as I passed? What your principal would say? No, man, you have to write an exam. The exam gives your data. The data, nothing but your knowledge, your observations, your skills, everything you would put in that, right? Same way that when I'm spending millions of the dollars, that means 100 of crores in a clinical trials for the 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. But how do I release my drug into the market? Only through the clinical data management. The clinical data management does a lot of activities right from the study startup to, that is, creation of the case report form till the database log. We validate the data. We find any errors, like if there are any mistakes, if there are any incomplete information, if there are missing information. That's what we do, right? When you go to for exam, before 10 minutes of you give the paper, you correct all your answer sheet for 10 minutes. Like if I missed something, if you have not written something, if you have any corrections. Same way that we ensure that we provide a clean, a correct data and accurate data to the analysis. From there, it goes to the regulatory authorities to release the drug into the market. Because dying with the disease, unavoidable, but dying with the wrong medication, unacceptable. And with that, we ensure that clinical data management will provide a strong strong monitoring on the data. The data is nothing but the observations of the patient, like lab test, ECG, MRI scans, CT scans, adverse events, concomitant medications, everything. But when I say data, it should be accurate. For example, there is a patient, female, male. Can I ask him for the pregnancy test? No, that's not correct. There's a patient, there's a trial where we say that a patient can be in the trial with the age of 25 to 45 years, but my patient age is 85 years. Can I take him into the trial? No. So these kind of errors, the sites are regularly does. When I say site, hospital, that's where the clinical trial happens. But what are the companies that we have? The companies, if I say pharma companies, I can say Pfizer, Eli Lilly, Amgen, Roche, Novartis, Novo Nordisk. I'm not saying any companies which are outside India. I'm saying the companies which are everything in India. Along with that, there are CRO companies, like, for example, for your parents are your sponsors. And now you go to college, like where they take money and teach you. So the CROs also take some money from the sponsor companies, monitor the clinical trial and monitor the clinical data, and does the coding, does the medical writing, does the regulatory affairs support for the sponsor companies. And clinical trial happens in the hospitals. So when I say the CRO, you have IQVIA, PPD, and World Care Clinical, Medphase, and everything. But interestingly, there are some of the software companies like a Cognizant, Wipro, TCS have moved into clinical data management. Their operations, they're expanding so much. In last 4 months back, the TCS has hired almost 400 clinical data management professionals in one shot, because they're expanding their CDM so much. You see that. So the clinical research has a huge opportunities for every pharma student, every life science students, every whoever has the medical education background. But all you need to do is that how I'm eligible. Because in interview, they might ask you, can you tell me what is the data validation? Or they would ask you, can you tell me what is the ICSGC principles? Or can you tell me what is an IND? Can you tell me what is an NDA? We might read some of the aspects in the Google or YouTube, but trust me that facing the interview is the biggest skill that you ever should know. That is, sorry guys, how do you talk? How do you see them? How do you present yourself? Or how do you answer? How fast you talk? How slow you talk? And how descriptive you are, right? So that means you need to have a medical education, you need to have a training, at the same time that you also need to have the skills which helps you to crack the interview, right? So these are the skills that you need, other than the which you don't get in the Google or YouTube at any cost, because there are skills that until unless you go for a war, if you go to the war only, you'll know the pain of that wound, right? And same way that we are in the industry for the many years, we know the pains, right? So we are there to help the students, especially the students who are interested to put their career in the pharma industry, put their career into the CRO industry, put their career into the hospital side as a CRC and the data coordinators and the ethics committee coordinator, or if you ask me, the data management associate. Yes, we are there to help you on that. But if you want to choose a career, please learn the required skills for it. Okay, that's all from mine. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ram.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ram. Thank you very much. So, guys, do you have any questions? Please suit up your questions now. Both our trainers are here. Please suit up your questions and ask your questions to them. And I think they have described wonderfully all the career options and how you can go for it and how important CDM is and what is the procedure in CDM. Okay, so this is one of the great and independent career opportunities, if I say, and I always tell, as we have defined it in the individual career opportunities. It is there. You can get up to any position. You can start with a basic job role and basic job responsibilities, and you can definitely go for it. Okay, so yes, we are coming up with the CDM course very soon. We have conducted already one batch, and we are coming up with the next batch very, very soon. And you met already our trainers, so they are very fantastic and amazing in this field. So guys, your questions, please. Ma'am, can you tell me about the rule writing? Okay, what is rule writing? Yes. Yes, Hanifa ji and Ram, if you can take these questions. Yes, there are many questions. Hanifa, can you take, please?
Yes, I'm just looking at the questions. They're shooting one after.
Yeah. Please take one after. No worries.
Somebody has asked a question. I want to ask if I'm from life science background. Many posts I see they ask for B Farm or M Farm or things like that. Like I already mentioned that I'm in this field for like 11 years now. I have seen people who have done masters from science background. They don't have any medical background, like they're not from any pharmacy college or they have not done any MBBS or stuff like that. But yes, they are the directors in the company. They are the managers. If you are from science background and you equip yourself with some diploma, for example, as you provide any certificate courses in CDM, or you say that I've done postgraduate diploma in PV or things like that. I mean, you have to equip yourself with some more knowledge. Then yes, I have seen some companies directly allowing science graduates. Even my colleagues who have done simple BSc microbiology, then masters, they are with me in the same profile like I am, even though I'm from pharmacy background. That is one thing. Yeah, maybe some companies do not allow, they directly have actually, it is client specific also. Some clients directly say that I need pharmacy background only. I'm not accepting any BDS, any nurse or anything like that. Then that time they will not allow. But yes, there are some companies that do have opportunities for you as well. Freshers can get job in CDM. Yes, I told you there are some entry level posts, as you have seen in my presentation. Freshers can directly go. Not only us, after that, when you join a company as a fresher, they will also equip you with the right kind of knowledge and the skills. But when you are already aware of what is done in there through our courses, that can help you obviously, because like Ram also mentioned, it's very important to crack the interview first. To crack the interview, you need to equip yourself with knowledge that will be provided by the Curio and the skills also. Now, feedback link. Do we have any feedback link?
No. We don't have any feedback link. This is not a certified webinar for everyone. This is a certified webinar only for the registered participants. So this is a knowledge sharing webinar. You all are here to get the knowledge and get aware of the CDM, guys.
What should I have done to join as a standard company as a clinical scientist?
What should I have to do? Okay, what should I have to do to join as a standard company? I mean, a standard company as a clinical scientist. I don't understand that. If you want to go to the clinical research, you can, you must be from the pharma background or medical background, and then you can go to the CR. You can go to the CROs and the companies which conduct the clinical trials, and you can even start your career from the hospital or the clinical sites, and then you can go ahead with the further. Uh, uh, Promotions and further experiences in the life.
Hi, can I add something here?
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Yes, please.
This role is not expanded so much in India, but it is there in more in the abroad countries, especially during the protocol writing, that to understand that the scientific evaluation and the relationship between that, why I'm doing this clinical trial, what is the relationship with this molecule.
Absolutely.
And along with that, now the companies like AstraZeneca, GSK hiring the clinical scientists very slowly, but they're more focusing into that the protocol deviation that happens in the clinical trial, and the SUSAs, like suspected adverse drug reaction, suspected unexpected reactions, and when there is a unexpected adverse reaction happen during the clinical trial, what I'm supposed to do, because a non-clinical people will be very will be very tense. So the clinical scientist team will support them, stating that this is the risk management plan that you are supposed to do it. Okay, but this clinical scientists required a lot of experience, like maybe 10 years, 12 years, with a lot of medical data review experience, and even including the PV experience also. But if you require in India, that we are just this role is expanding slowly, where only some of the companies are acquiring these roles for now.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. Yes. Amazing. So, guys, any other questions? I think I
They
have.
have a question for you, Dr. Ajit. The certificates that we provide, are they valid enough to get a job?
Ajit sir, my question is about your medical coding course. Absolutely, absolutely. See, medical coding course, I get this question frequently, and for the medical SaaS course, the clinical SaaS courses, that is it enough? Yes, see, there are two types of certificates. One is training certificate, one is certification. Okay, certification, if you want for the medical coding or clinical SaaS or the SaaS programming, you have to take it from the SaaS university. That is different, and you have to pay 40,000 rupees. That is just an exam. There is no training at all. Okay, that is just an exam to certify you that okay, you are the SaaS trainer. But this is the training certificate what we give you. Like, you have attended our training for 3 months or 6 months or whatever amount of time, and whatever modules you have covered, we give the certificates for that. So that is perfectly valid worldwide, certified with the government of India, our company, and our training institute Curio is certified. So you can go anywhere with this certificate, with this training certificate, because that is a training certificate. You don't mix with the certification. If for medical coding, if you do CRC or CCA or whatever you want, that certification is different. That is like your validation. Okay, that is like your validation for your knowledge, if you have or not. So those certifications can be done when you are in the industry also. Usually the industries, they give you the trainings for 6 months, 8 months, and then they allow you to go for the certification. That time you can attend that certification. Okay, but what we are providing is the training certificate, and that is valid everywhere. Okay.
Ajit sir, just to add on to that, they also have this question: when is your medical coding course going to start? Yes,
Medical coding course
medical coding.
is going to start in February first week, and registrations are open now. I think in last class only we have opened the registrations, that you can just visit our website www.curioctri.com. I'll just mention it again here. Please visit the website. Okay. Please visit the website, and you can get all the courses there. curioctri.com. Okay.
Sure. Bandhan has a question: can these jobs be fully remote? Yes, Bandhan. Some companies do provide opportunities where you have to completely work from home. But yes, these opportunities are very limited. For example, for us, we have been working from 2019 from home. We have
Yeah.
this work from home, and many companies have work from home for now. But yes, eventually some companies call back the people to the office. Yes, certain companies are providing work from home fully remote, but not
Barnali Hose
everyone.
is Barnali Hose is asking, what are the important skills which are required for getting a job in clinical data management? It's a question for Ram and Hanifa both.
Ram, would you be able to speak on that?
So the important skills as such is, for example, I think you are a fresher, Barmali. For that, you need to understand the basics of the first clinical trials. What is the clinical trials? What are the clinical trial phases we have? What is the applications that we have? Then the skills that you need to understand the about everything about the clinical data management, right? Like what is the as I mentioned, right? What is the data validation? What is the query management? And what is the data? And apart from the technical things, like about this the clinical data management, then you need to have that the problem solving skills. Like they might ask you that when there is a data error, how do you process it? right? Or let's say that, you raised a query and the site is not responding to the particular query, but there is a interim analysis going to happen. How are you going to, expedite the particular query to close? Right. So these are the some of the problem solving skills. So which will be understanding when you connect the dots. That means when you learn the clinical data management course regularly. And along with that, there are some basic expected questions, whether you go for the PV, whether you go for the CDM, medical coding, everything, such as the ICH GCP principles and regulatory aspects currently. For example, from February 2022, the European Union has changed their from directive to regulation. They might ask, and now currently we are drafting the ICH revision 3. They might ask you that, what are the updates of it? So because even though you are life science or the pharma background, even though if you have the complete knowledge about the clinical trials and the clinical data management, pharmacovigilance, but are you aware of the particular regulations? That is important, right?
Yeah.
So you need to connect all the dots, because when you ask me, if you want to spell my name or your name, you need ABCD also, right? So the ABCDs are that the technical skills and non-technical skills that we're going to teach you.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, like I already mentioned, what we discussed in the course today, you need to know about the regulatory agencies, and like what Ram mentioned, you need to know about what is clinical trial. And when you actually go into the details of this topic, that will all be taken care by us when we actually start this course on clinical data management. So what you have seen today was just the trial. It was just to give you an idea and burn that spark in you about clinical data management. Otherwise, there is a lot more, which Ram correctly mentioned. There's a lot more that we can talk about, but that would be taken care in the sessions. For example, you want to know what is adverse event, what is adverse drug reaction, what is the difference? We cannot take that right now, right here. That will be taken care in the courses. Even the regulatory agencies, regulatory authorities, regulations, all this would be taken care.
Absolutely. Okay, so Bandhan Kaur, I'm so sorry. Bandhan Kaur had the question. Okay, great. Will the Curio help in getting into the companies like Synos, IQVIA? Many companies hire only from the references. One thing, and the other question I got here is, is it important to have a PGD in CDM or 6-month courses can do? Can you provide a CDM course details? So I'll answer all these questions in once. See, Bandhan, we provide all the skills. We provide first of all the best training in India, because we have multiple faculty members, multiple experts, and the best syllabus chosen over all. Okay, and all 100% live classes. This training is 100% live. Okay, all the classes are live, right? And recordings will be provided later. If you are missing any classes, that's different. Okay. Other than that, along with all the courses, along with all our courses, whether those are 3 months, 4 months, or 6 months courses, we are conducting the mock interviews free of cost. We are conducting the leadership dialogues. Leadership dialogues means all the top CEO positions, director positions, and vice presidents of the companies like Cadila, Sinus, and Sun Pharma. They come, the QBD, they come and they talk about the openings, they talk about the career opportunities, they talk about the skills, they talk about the different options. So we provide all the resources. We provide all the resources for you to get trained. And if it comes to the placement part, right now, I don't promise any kind of placement like others. Okay, I don't say that I will give you 100% placement if you're coming with us. Not at all. I will train you to get the placement by yourself. That's my guarantee. Okay, that's my guarantee. I will train you in all the aspects, whether it is soft development skills, whether it is personality development, whether it is mock interview, whether it is leadership dialogue, whatever you need, I am providing. Okay. So that is from my side for all of you. And the next question I'll come about the Busra Said is asking, is it important to have a PGD in CDM or 6 months courses? So usually these are value-added certifications. Okay, these are value-added certifications or skill development courses. You don't have to go for 2 years course or 1 year's course completely in that. I think there are no degrees even in CDM, if I am not wrong. Okay, maybe outside India, but in India, there are only the value-added course or certification courses for 1 year, 6 months, and 4 months, and those are more than sufficient, because you must have the basic knowledge of CDM or pharmacovigilance or whatever you are going medical writing. And then if you just need to crack the interview, and you should have the basic knowledge, and once you are industry will train you by themselves. First 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, they only train you according to their environment. Okay, so different industries have different environment, and you have to learn it in the industry only. We will train you for the basics and more than basics. So it will be easy for your, your way ahead in the companies, in the industries. Okay. And CTM course details we will be providing very, very soon to you. Okay.
Ajit, maybe, I just wanted to add
Yes,
to you.
please add on, Ram. Please go ahead.
Students, whoever asked the question, it's wonderful question, and thank you so much for being very honest, Ajit. What's happening that, there are many institutions in India, they're promising like we will provide the 100% job. No,
Yes.
don't believe that. Why? Because these are not some startup companies, they're multi-billionaire companies. If you ask, you mentioned a company called IQA. IQA has 90,000 employees in 90 countries. Okay.
Absolutely.
Billionaire companies. So they don't listen as, okay, this is my candidate, can you take them? No, they don't listen that. Okay. So if I give an example, if I give 1 lakh rupee to a student, he might spend. But if I teach the skills which can earn 1 lakh rupee, that helps them. So we're going to
Yes.
teach you that skill which can get you to the better opportunity, but not like, okay, you don't come to the class, we'll give you the 100% job. No, don't anywhere. Whoever is saying that, they're absolutely incorrect. There is no such a way to get the job in the pharma companies. Like, this is my candidate, take him. No, there's no such things.
There's no such things at all. Yes. There's no such things. True. Thank you very much for adding, Ram. Any other questions, guys? No feedback form. Okay.
I also appreciate it always, Dr. Ajit. You are always upfront and bold enough, and you dare to say them the reality. Unlike any other companies that can cheat these students
See,
and they
Anifa,
promise them a lot of stuff.
I literally believe that we should not give them the false hope. I'm not here to earn the money. Like I'm okay with 10 students in my batch. I'm okay with the 5 students in my batch. But I don't want to give them the false hope. They, come up after the completing the course. They come to me, sir, where is the job? See, if I'm not able to, that I'm not. See, if I am hiring for myself, I'll 100% say that, okay, I'll give you the job after my course. I'll train you, I'll get the job. But there is no CDM in my company. There is no right now pharmacovigilance in my company. So I cannot guarantee such courses, such jobs in the others company, frankly. But I guarantee you that I'll train you 100% whatever you want. If you're not satisfied with that, you ask me, sir, okay, add these things to the course, I will add. Okay. Right now we are providing mock drills. I mean, these mock courses, mock interviews. We are conducting the tests. We are conducting the leadership dialogues. We are conducting the communication skill classes. We are conducting the professional development classes, email classes, soft skill classes, everything free of cost for you. And whoever in our courses, we are conducting these free of cost for you. You can join them, and we provide all the access to all of you. So
That is the best thing.
we are making you skilled. We are not giving you the false hope. Okay. Venice for Research Associate. Please visit the website. We have a wonderful training course for CRAs also. Okay. There are no provisions for backdoor hiring in CDM, Mr. Devas. Okay. Sorry, I'll not take this question, Devas. Okay. Okay. Any other questions which is left, guys? Please write. If we missed out some questions, please rewrite the question. We will take your questions and then we can go ahead. Okay, so guys, thank you very much for attending, and I would like to thank Hanifa and Ram for joining us as the trainer. And it was a wonderful seminar, wonderful webinar. I think we have covered all the aspects about CDM, their job opportunities, and whatever the questions were asked by the people. Guys, there is no feedback link for today's webinar. Today's webinar is only for the registered participants, and they will get the certificate, and I opened for all to just learn. Okay, so there is no feedback link, there is no certificate for today's webinar. Okay, please understand. Thank you. Next webinar in the regulatory affairs will be for everyone. Okay, with the certificate.
Understand, guys, it was just a trailer, like I already mentioned, so we don't need any feedback for now. But yes, when we actually conduct the sessions, we would certainly appreciate your feedback.
Yes, certainly appreciate the feedback. Do companies hire B.Pharm freshers? Of course they hire. Of course they hire. And B.Pharm, pharmacy people, medical people are the best choices for them. If you have the skills, if you have the additional, literally I'm telling you guys, if you have the additional certificate, see, I always give this example. There are two candidates. One is with plain B.Pharm, one is the B.Pharm with 3 months or 6 months certificate in CDM. Whom will I hire? I will hire the person who has the experience in CDM, who has some training in the CDM. Simple. So go for the value addition along with your CV, along with your course certificate, along with your degree certificate. You will be, and with some skills, if you are approaching with some good skills and some valid skills, you will be hired, you will be given preferences over everyone. Okay.
Sure.
What role PharmD's course people can play in CDM? You can just join as CDM associate, or I think CDM managers. Many of my students are working in the CDM company now. They are the managers actually, and they are the directors also. One of my student is has recently promoted to the CDM director in one of the big company. So you can definitely go for it, guys. See, you, whatever pharmacy background you are, PharmD people are having the additional advantage because they have the clinical research, they are aware of pharmacotherapeutics, they are well aware of all the pharma, okay, all the pharma stuff and medical terminology. So you are
Correct.
well, you are the best people to go to CDM. Okay,
Guys, training and experience is what these corporates look for.
absolutely.
Training and experience.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, thank you very much. Take care. Have a good Sunday. Have a good day, guys.
Thank you
Ram.
so much,
Thank you,
Adit sir,
Hanifa.
for arranging this show.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ram. Thanks,
Thank you,
everyone. Thank you,
Dr.
Ashish.
Deep. Thank you,
Bye. Take
Thank you.
care.
Hanifa.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank
Take
you,
care,
Ram.
guys. Take care, everyone.